We ain't had no elevator, so I had to take them steps. And it's strictly motivation when I'm staring at success. Leave that nigga with your money just to put him to the test. What's good with y'all, man? Right now we finna get into this. Killer tells his mom, your son got smoked after hunting down and stabbing teen to death. So without further ado, let's get that bit popping. You know the drill for how you feel. Pop you like a pill. If you want to hit that like and subscribe button, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on my video. Alright, but check this out. I need y'all to go tap in on my website, typcan.com. All the exclusive videos I don't post on YouTube will be posted on my website. Real Life Rap, the album is out on all platforms, Spotify and Apple Music, so I need y'all to add that to y'all playlist and run that up for me on my mother's children. But yeah, shouts out to A Puncho for another banger on my mama. Let's check it out.
At around 5:40 p.m. on Thursday the 9th of September 2021, 16-year-old Romero West met up with friends after finishing up his first day back at college. He had just entered his first year after finishing secondary school in the summer that had just passed. The young boy had dreams of making something of himself. He was studying catering, and although he might not have necessarily surrounded himself with like-minded people...
Studying catering, nigga? Now, they said he went to a secondary school. Secondary school, I don't know, some places call it there. We called it Votech where I'm from. I don't know if it's the same, like a technical school and shit like that, where it's like a trade school, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what they mean by secondary school. I don't know, but he said he was studying to be a caterer. When I went to that secondary school, Votech, or a trade school, whatever it is, nigga, they had a cooking, culinary arts. Yeah, it's cool to learn how to cook and shit, but like, bro, them niggas, you teaching these niggas how to go work at a restaurant, my nigga, and flip niggas burgers and shit, not own the restaurant though. I signed me up for that class, nigga. You won't catch me around them niggas. On my mama though, then they had a class where all they did was cut the grass for the school, bro. You know what I'm saying? They ain't teaching them how to open up a business. Maybe they is though. Maybe in that one they is. I doubt they is though. I doubt they was teaching them niggas how to get your own lawn care business and how to they was teaching them how to be workers, not motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Not the owner of that shit. You feel me? Like the culinary, them niggas is going to work at Burger King and shit. Maybe not, but what can you do with a culinary degree, my nigga? Cause you don't need no culinary degree or trade to open up a restaurant. All you gotta do is get the proper paperwork. You feel me?
He wanted to go against the grain.
But hey, nothing against him though. Do your Dougie, man. You know what I'm saying?
Career. However, that first day at college would sadly be his last.
College.
We don't know huge context behind this case because that's just simply what it is. Detectives can't give a motive, and they themselves haven't established a connection between all parties involved. So we'll start this case off just prior to 5:40 p.m.
Yeah, his shit was in the summertime though, so I don't know.
Romero had travelled to Millennium Park in the Moss Side area of Manchester, up in the north of England.
Oh yeah, this ain't even America, bro.
Assume that he was either on Raby Street or Great Western Street. These lie beside the park. Out of nowhere, a BMW 1 Series containing Giovanni Lawrence, the driver, and two passengers, Marquise Richards and Ryan Cashin, along with the BMW 3 Series whose occupants to this day are unknown, drove past at speed. Startled but thinking nothing of it, Romero and friends continued to drive normally towards Princess Road, the main road a stone's throw away. Given the fact that it was 5:40 p.m, to say it was busy would be an understatement, so off they turned onto the main road and waited in rush hour traffic. The friends would share a laugh as they waited, but laughter would soon turn to panic. You see, Marquise Richards had approached the driver's side of the car and began to lunge at it with a large knife several times. He would later go on to testify that he'd been in the area with friends picking up cannabis from a dealer. All of a sudden he said that Romero, who had been driving the vehicle, had drove towards this dealer attempting to run him over. He became infuriated and wanted to confront them about what had happened, so he ran up to the car and kicked the door several times to scare them. However, he He said upon doing so, he saw all 5 produce knives, and so he was passed a knife himself, to which he lunged at the window several times to no avail. But although he gave this testimony, it should be noted that there's nothing to suggest that this had been the motive behind the first initial attack. Either way, Romero and friends would flee the scene, taking off in the car. Marquis's group would run back to their car, and the chase was on.
I'm kind of lost a little bit, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. What the hell? So they got... Who the hell just got a camera on that shit like that?
A high-speed chase was ongoing throughout the streets of Manchester, swerving in and out of traffic, driving on the opposite side of the road. Romero and friends were in a desperate bid to escape the knifemen. The chase would finally end on Upper Chawton Road, roughly a mile and a half away. Romero had been driving erratically and crashed into a car, but would go on to plow into
Well, I was about to say that nigga got out the driver's side and took over and the car kept going.
Everyone then jumped out and fled on foot. However, Ryan Cashin and Marquise Richards were just behind them. Footage would go on to capture the moment Marquise would jump out of his vehicle and would begin to give chase. It wouldn't last long, however, because by the time he got to Norton Street, just around the corner, he ran out of breath, but Ryan still had a lot of gas in the tank. In a move straight out of a relay race, Marquise passed the knife to Ryan and he continued to pursue Romero, who by this point had been knocking on people's doors to let him in. One witness said she saw Romero being chased. He'd been banging on a door to try and get in, but received no answer. He then jumped over the wall to another house as he tried to get away. Sadly, he would never escape. Romero resorted to laying down in the front garden in order to hide himself, but Ryan would soon catch up to him and shouted, "Ah, got you." Romero was stabbed 5 times. Shouts of "come on, get in the car" were heard, so both Ryan and Marquise fled the scene. Romero was initially able to stand up and started to walk.
So, but I miss what happened while they was chasing them though. Like what they said something about weed and I don't know.
Blood pumped from his legs. That's where he received the stab wounds. He was up but unsteady on his feet. However, he soon collapsed and neighbours rushed to aid him. They stayed by his side until paramedics arrived. When they did, they had to perform open heart surgery in the street. He was then taken to hospital but was ultimately pronounced dead at around 7:30 p.m. So a murder investigation was opened into the incident and the BMW was found abandoned shortly after. A forensic search of the car found Marquise's DNA on the front passenger seat, whilst Ryan's had been found on the rear passenger seat. Giovanni's had been found on the driver's seat adjuster, windscreen wiper controls and driver's seat belt buckle. They were banged to rights. However, they went on the run. In the weeks following the incident, both Ryan and Marquise were arrested and charged with murder. Giovanni fled to Cheshire, where he was eventually arrested in January of 2022, roughly 4 months after the murder. Although Giovanni had been the driver and Marquise had stopped the chase due to him running out of breath,
Still guilty.
They were both charged under joint enterprise. In other words, although they hadn't actually killed anyone, the intention of murder was there. In court, both Marquise and Ryan gave testimony. In other words, they were trying to downplay their roles in what happened. We've already heard from Marquise, but Ryan, on the other hand...
that's how niggas got a telling right there, bro. It don't matter, bro. They still finna throw it to you, bro. Don't even matter whether you did it or not. They still finna throw it to you. So they chased this man down and stabbed him up 5 different times. So like there was 2 cars and it was 3 people on foot though. So like, well, okay, but there was a 3rd person in the back after the white boy came and grabbed a knife. I don't know if they was with them or not though. So we're just gonna assume it was just them 2, and then it was the dude in the car kept chasing them. So what happened to the BMW? The BMW was on the side of the road, they said, and then so dude ditched the first dude in the first car that they was chasing. You know what I'm saying? He ditched the car. Then he was banging on doors and he hid in somebody's flower bush or the garden or some shit, and dude caught him and stabbed him up 5 times. You know what I'm saying? He said something about weed and somebody dealing or something, you know what I'm saying, earlier. So I don't really know. They probably hit a lick on him or something. I don't know.
Said this was a case of mistaken identity and claimed he knew who the real killer was. However, would decline to name that person because he feared that he or his family could be under threat. But the mountain of evidence, including CCTV footage, painted a clear image for the jury, and all 3 were found guilty in relation to the case. Marquise was handed a life sentence.
Yeah, they had his face clear as fuck, and that man, they had 4K. The cameras was 4K.
17 years. Ryan was handed a life sentence with the minimum term of 23 years in relation to the case. Marquise was handed a life sentence with the minimum term of 17 years. Ryan was handed a life sentence with the minimum term of 23 years, whilst Giovanni was handed a life sentence with the minimum term of 20 years. Your son's been smoked.
Gave it to him, nigga. They ain't gonna get out till they motherfucking 30-some years old, bruh. 40, man, depending on how old they is, they 18 years old, bro. They not gonna be out, bro, till they 40, bro. On the minimum sentence, bro. Imagine poking somebody else up in there and catching a whole nother charge. Then you're done with never coming home. So all it take is one, bro. Me though, keep getting in fights. All you gotta do is keep getting in fights, keep getting sent to the hole, bro. They gonna keep adding or delaying your time and shit like that.
Is what Marquise shouted towards Romero's mother after he'd been sentenced. A mother in agony, suffering with the loss of a child. All she wanted was an answer. Why? Why did they do this? But sadly, this was the response she got. A cutthroat gesture, as it's being described. From the moment Romero was stabbed all the way until those words were shouted at her and beyond, Romero's mother has spent nights depending on medication to help her sleep. Her life's been turned upside down. She's even lost her job because of this incident. In the end, the perpetrators showed no remorse and were disrespectful.
I mean, shit, the job don't give a fuck, nigga. You better clock in that motherfucker. Say you on the job right now, and they gonna say, oh, if you go to the police station and see if your son got killed or not, see if that's your son, we gonna fire you. The fuck? That should be illegal. That should be illegal, bro. That's how these jobs is, bro. Oh my mom, but let it be them though. You know what I'm saying? Let it be them though. Or you gotta go pick your son up go take him to the doctor. You keep taking your son to the doctor often because he got autism or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep taking to the doctor, get some medicine, ADHD, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? They gonna keep fire you because of that. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but you know that's what happens when you work a job, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that should be illegal though.
Smiled throughout the trial
because you gotta take your kid to school and school don't work with your work schedule.
Her son's final moments.
Me though. But hey man, y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. I put a name. If y'all made it to the end of this video and you bored, check out this video to the left or check out my music to the right. Just drop some new shit so y'all gonna run that up on Gone on My Mother's Children, G.O.D. We ain't had no elevator, so I had to take some steps. In the street motivation when I'm staring at success. We that nigga with your money just to put him to the test.